Hey everybody, today's March 31st, 2020. Another day, another celebrity death in the media from the coronavirus disease. And celebrity might be a loose term, but a popular sociologist who's known for walking literally every single block of New York City. He was the author of a book called The New York Nobody Knows. Now understand, the media has an agenda when it comes to the coronavirus, or COVID-19 as they're calling it. And the agenda has nothing to do with saving you from the virus. The agenda is turning you into a willing slave. And in order to get that done, they need to separate the public as much as possible. In this fight, the best allies that we have are each other. And by keeping us further and further apart, they're trying to drive a wedge between the public, a larger wedge than has already been drawn through political divide and a number of other methods. So throughout the course of this disease, we've heard rumblings of social distancing to keep each other safe. The further apart we are, the safer we are. Because again, fear is the name of the game. And of course, this is no coincidence that it just so happens a famous sociologist has passed away in the midst of this government directive for social distancing. And the mind control here is very clear. Don't be social, or you could die of a pandemic. As always, the media publishes its news stories by the numbers. This man died on Saturday, as his Wikipedia page verifies as well, March 28th. But news of his passing was not published until today, March 31st. On this channel, I explain not just the date numerology of the passing, but also why the news sometimes delays this reporting until a new date. And no doubt, this riddle is extremely solid. In the description below this video, you'll find a link to my presentation on the Eclipse crucifixion code, which I presented in Anarchadelphia. And a quick viewing of that video will show you all the numerology you need to understand how this story was published in accordance with that code. So without further ado, let's get into the numerology. Again, even though he died on Saturday, his death was not published until today, Tuesday, March 31st. Notice how today has what we call standard numerology, 3 plus 31 plus 20, of 54. In our standard reduction or Pythagorean method, which uses the rules of numerology to reduce each double-digit number to a single digit prior to adding it to the equation, the name Helmreich sums to 54 in reduction. His death on March 28th was the 88th day of a leap year. In this same cipher, the name William Helmreich sums to 88. The name William is, of course, the full version of Bill, and according to Mr. Helmreich's Twitter handle, here you see he was the professor of sociology. He's got his book as his avatar. Notice how he goes by the name Bill. The name Bill Helmreich sums to 71, and the date that he died had primary numerology, 3 plus 28 plus 20 plus 20, of 71. In English extended Gematria, this cipher, most closely mirroring the Hebrew Gematria and Greek isopsephy charts, the name Bill sums to 71 in this method as well. Also notice the 35 using the alphabetic order, the most basic A through Z 1 through 26 cipher. And then in reduction, Bill sums to 17. Well, the date he died has numerology of 71, 35, and 17. 17 also the gematria of kill. And no doubt there's a little bit of a Kill Bill theme, so to speak, coded into this death. Gematria is a Jewish practice, and it's believed to have originated in Hebrew, one of the original human languages. Well, in Hebrew Gematria, notice how the word kill, and this is something I've been talking about a lot lately in many of my recent videos. In Hebrew, the word kill equals 19 and 244. Now, here we are dealing with the COVID-19 virus. The year 2019 began the United States' 244th year of existence. Just yesterday, in a video about Maria Mercator, I explained how she died 244 days before her birthday. In Jewish Gematria, this, the other most significant cipher I teach outside the alphabetic order, it's based in Latin. The number 19 equals 244 when you write it out. William Helmreich was born on August 25th of 1945, meaning that when he died, he was 27,244 days old. This also means he was exactly 4 months and 4 weeks before his next birthday. And in English Gematria, the word kill equals 44 in ordinal. So even though he died on Saturday, the mainstream media didn't publish the story until today. Notice how today, March 31st, has primary numerology of 74. On the date William Helmreich died, he was a span of 7 months and 4 days after his 74th birthday. Now, this practice that we're looking at is called Simple English Gematria. The words simple, English, and Gematria all have ordinal values of 74. In the New Testament, 3 of the 4 Gospels describe darkness falling over the sky during the daytime crucifixion of Jesus Christ. The death of God's Son, akin symbolically to the death of our sun during an eclipse. And of course, during a total eclipse, the only part of the sun that's visible is the corona, or the atmosphere of the sun. Jesus equals 74, so does cross, so does the word killing, Messiah 74, gospel 74, the word parables 74. Jesus, remember, this was a Jewish practice. Some believed Jesus was Jewish. Most people believe that Jesus was crucified at the age of 33. This is the reduction value of Eclipse. But the number 33 in Jewish Gematria is significant for its relation to ritual human sacrifice, which of course Jesus was. Remember, he was betrayed by Judas leading up to that. All of these phrases sum to 895. And not only was Mr. Helmreich 74 years, 7 months, 4 days old, but he was also 895 months old. The name Jesus is 985, just a slight difference in the number. Notice how Helmreich's full name is William Benno Helmreich. In English Gematria, his name equals 984, which is just 1 digit off the 985 value of Jesus. And if you're familiar with the rule of Kollel, you understand that when it comes to big numbers, 1 is no different than, 1 can be subtracted from or added from a Gematria value. Not something I talk about often, But when you get an alignment this strong with the same code I've been talking about, it's hard not to mention it. However, what makes this even more interesting is that Mr. Helmreich died a span of 151 days before his next birthday. And in the alphabetic order, the name Jesus Christ sums to 151. So again, the Eclipse crucifixion code is what's very significant here. Remember we talked about the idea of God's Son dying during the death of the sun in the sky? God's Son has an ordinal value of 93, like how the sun is 93 million miles away. Jesus died on a crucifix. He was of Nazareth. Remember Saturn, the black sun. In Jewish gematria, God's Son equals 331, and March 31st, or 331, just happens to be the date that this news was finally published. 331 is a very significant prime number as well. As we can see here, it's the 67th prime number. Total solar eclipse equals 67, and its eclipses, which blood sacrifices are performed in relation to, blood sacrifice, human sacrifice, both 67. Notice how the word crucifixion, also 67. Well, right now, we are in a significant period in the United States where we're in this 6.5-year time frame between the two great American eclipses. And I just realized I made a mistake on this image. The second eclipse is actually 2024, not 2020, so I'll have to fix that. And these two eclipses, it seems like so many things are aligned with. Now, notice the date that this story came out. March 31st of 2020. Today's date is 4 years and 8 days before the 2024 total solar eclipse, which falls on the date 4/8. Of course, if you multiply 2 times 24, you get 48. Now, the 48th prime number is 223. And if you instead measure to the first great American total solar eclipse, check out how today's date is 223 days after the anniversary of that eclipse. But what's most significant is that if you measure from today's date to the date of the second great American total solar eclipse, you get a span of exactly 210 weeks. In the alphabetic order, the name William Benno Helmreich sums to 210. In English gematria, this is the value of the word moon, 210. The 2017 eclipse was the first coast-to-coast eclipse in 99 years here in the United States. The second eclipse occurs on the 99th day of a leap year. The moon equals 99 and 90. William B. Helmreich equals 99 and 90. And for some reason, that's how his name is abbreviated. And it's done this way on his book as well. Speaking of his book, The New York Nobody Knows, I want to point out Helmreich's Twitter handle, NY Nobody Knows. Well, check out the gematria of this, 155 and 56. This is the same gematria as coronavirus, which is said to have ultimately claimed this man's life. In standard reduction, NY nobody knows equals 61. This brings us back to the code for Jesus, which sums to 61. In fact, City University of New York, where he was a sociology professor, was founded in the year 61. Well, the 61st prime number is 283. And this man died on the 28th of March, the date written 28/3 internationally. Coronavirus with reverse gematria of 283 as well. And, of course, there's more alignments here between this man's name and the disease. As I've been talking about a lot recently, COVID-19 has this ordinal value of 72. In Satanic Gematria, William Helmreich equals 720, which is significant because in Sumerian Gematria, which is the alphabetic order times 6, Sociology sums to 720. In that same cipher, William Helmreich equals 960. This is the reverse value of corona. Using capital letters, William Helmreich equals 212. COVID-19 equals 212. And 212 is the Kabbalah Gematria of ritual sacrifice. And then what's also kind of entertaining here is Bill Helmreich and sociology professor, both 235 in reverse. And then William Helmreich equals 272, just like professor of sociology. So this man, born and bred for his job as a sociology professor, and then he passes away the same month that the media has been obsessing the public about social distancing. A directive which the public has been all too willing to accept. Because, hey, they're scared. They're scared of a little virus. And it's crazy. You know, humans have survived this planet for thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of years with viruses. And all of a sudden, we're told that we can't handle it and that we have to shut everything down, ruin our way of life so that the big brother, great big global government can come in and save the day. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks to everybody who jumped in the live chat and threw down on the facts. A little early morning live stream for you. All right, guys, once again, stay strong out there. It's a crazy world, and show a little bit of compassion for the sheeple, if you would. I know it's not easy, but that's part of the test that those of us who are awake to what's happening are currently going through. So do your best. Try and live your life filled with love in your heart. And, you know, those of us who are awake will also be getting through this together, you know. All right, guys. Thanks again for jumping in. Peace, love, God bless. We'll talk to you next time. See ya.